You wanna know something? I just realized I would never get verified on Twitter or Instagram, but today I just got verified on Bumble. That's how my life is going right now. What is up, you guys? Welcome to an old series I had a long time ago, but I usually always bring it back on Valentine's Day because, you know, seasonal depression is the best thing in the world. So welcome back to Big Mood. I'm here to talk to you guys on the day of love and couples and relationships, to talk to you guys about one of my worst times of that happening. I'm about to tell you guys a little story, as you can tell from the title, my worst Tinder date.
He fucked me with a toothbrush!
There's been like an ongoing joke on my channel where I talk about how I've been single for 21 years, 20 years, now I'm officially 22 years, that I just don't date. It's not by choice, I just haven't found a guy that I really want to go on multiple dates with, or date, or see myself be in a relationship with mostly. So when I started trying out dating more, like, it's really hard for me. Like, I know some people's like, go the traditional route, it's much better, go out to a bar and find people. It's 2019, well, the story was dated back in 2018, but no one has time to go out and do the traditional way. I'm at school, I'm at work, I'm doing YouTube, I'm streaming. Check out my streams on Twitch Freaks. I've been a lot active there, so it's selfish blood. But yeah, so I never have time to go meet people. So I downloaded Tinder and I downloaded Bumble, and just to see if I can just dip my toes into the dating life and see how it goes. It went bad. I matched with people, but I never had like the connection to like, I want to meet this person online and deal with this. So one of my friends, we're gonna call her Amber. So Amber had her Tinder profile too, and she was like, let me set you up on a blind date on Tinder, which I think that is like on the terms and conditions. You can't do that, set yourself up with other people on other profiles, but when you don't care. But there's a picture of me with her on her dating profile because she was still finding a person too during this time, and so she would put in the bio that she's also finding a date for me too. We spent about 3 hours in her car trying to find someone to go on a date, like a double date. Like, she was gonna find someone for her and then she was gonna find someone for me, and we was gonna go on the same date on the same day that weekend. Finally, one guy messaged asking like, what did I look like, all this stuff. So she gave him my Snapchat. We're gonna name this guy Pat. That's a dumb name. We're gonna name him Peter. Peter followed me on Snapchat. I followed back. We got to talking. He was great. He talked about what video games he loves to play, like what streamers he watched, anime that he was into. He wears hipster clothing. Like, come on, it's very great. We just really connected well. He had a great face. I love his hairstyle. He was just all around like, oh my gosh, I would love to like meet this guy in person. He seems pretty cool, pretty swell. So here's what happened. So we set it up a date. We went to this club, like a nice little club, just very chill, low key. It was really nice and simple, and we went up there around 8 p.m. We was gonna meet our guys up there around 9. During that time, Peter messaged us saying like, hey, would he be able to bring a friend? And I was like, yeah, that's no problem, because I understand, why would you want to meet a stranger by yourself? Like, I could be a murderer, like, come on, look at me. So he brought his friend John to the club with us, and it was really like nice and chill until like John came in, and John just looks out of it. Like, I think he was like, in my mind, I was like, I think John is already drunk already. And it's 9 o'clock. Like, he looks pretty wasted. He wasn't dressed for the club either. He had like a stained t-shirt that had looks like it had been washed in like 3 months, and ripped jeans or sweatpants. I just remember they were blue, and I feel like they were sweatpants, and he just didn't look clean already. Like, this was like, he looked like this was like a last minute thing. It just like, it didn't sit well with me, but I didn't care. Like, maybe he was just like sad, and like Peter wanted to get him out of his house type deal, like a good friend. We danced for like 15 minutes or something at the club and stuff, and then this show was about to begin at the club. Like a little nice little drag show was gonna happen, so we went to go to see this little drag show. Peter and John had never seen one before, so we was like trying to get them the experience. So we showed them in. Peter looked like he was into it, and then they, you know, like after the first like drag queen was done, I turned around and just noticed John was gone. I asked Peter, like, hey, do you know where John is at? And he was like, what? He was like, your friend John, do you know what happened to him? And he was like, he looked around, he's like, oh, I don't. Like, very calm, like he's not freaking out about his friend John. Like, I was freaking out for him, and I was just like, should we go find him? And he was like, yeah, we should go find him. And then we went out, we searched the whole club. We found him sitting in a corner. And he was just like,
I just need to sit down, man. I just need to sit down.
So, okay, so we moved him chairs to set him outside the door of the where we was watching the show at, so we can at least notice he's sitting there and not like take it off somewhere. And so with that happening, we watched another drag queen do their thing. She was awesome. Loved her. Loved it. And after it was done, I'll turn around and there you go. John was gone yet again. Then we found out that like we saw like freaked out again. Asked Peter, it's like, Peter, John is missing again. And Peter was like, oh, really? Like, so again, still chill that his friend is missing at this club. And I was like, should we go look for him? And he's like, yeah, we should go look. So we looked for him, went outside. It took us about like 10 minutes to find him the second time. And there he was like outside smoking a cigarette, still looking terrible. Like, it was just, I felt like we needed to call like 911 at the hospital. And then Peter was just like, I should just take him home. And I was like, oh, okay. And I thought, that's fine. Like, I understand he's, John is falling over the place looking ill. So I was like, let me help you guys to your car. So I grabbed one arm of John and Peter grabbed the other. And I'm just letting you know, John is not a skinny dude. He's like pretty big, like, you know, like 300 pounds type thing. So we dragged him along the parking lot, got him into Peter's car. I told Peter, I was like, it was a fun night. Sorry that it got cut short. We should do it again sometime. And he's like, yeah, we should. And I said, make sure you guys message me, because I have a motherly instinct, like, you have to message me if you make it home safely and stuff. So, and he said, yeah, totally, I would do that. I was like, all right. Just like, minding you guys that this day only lasted for like maybe 40 minutes. It was not that long of a hangout. So I went back to my friend Amber and told her everything that happened, because she wasn't with us on that. And she was like, oh darn. And I was like, we see him again? And I was like, hopefully. But yeah, John just looks terrible and needed to see a hospital or something. So the last like Snapchat message I got from Peter was saying that he made it back to John's place and that he was safe. And I thanked him again for a nice wonderful time, and we should redo this again. And then he opened it and left me on red. And I was like, that was weird. But I was like, it's a late night, he probably couldn't message and stuff like that. So I waited till the next day. I messaged him again, trying to start like a conversation. He opens it immediately. We're left on red. I was like, alright. So I gave him a few days of space. Like a week went by. I just sent him like one of my daily streak pics. So I just sent like a peace sign and just went on with life. And he never opened it. Okay, so then a couple weeks later, I got a notification on Snapchat that someone was trying to add me. And I just realized it was John from the date. And I was like, so I added him back. And I messaged John about his friend Peter. And he was like, I haven't spoken to Peter for a couple months. And then he randomly invited me to go to that club with you guys. Like, he was talking about how Peter creates these elaborate plans to get dates if he know he wasn't going to get some. So he created this elaborate plan to make sure that, this is all in John's word, that he made sure that John was drunk. It's because he came over to his place and they drank a few beers, and at 5:30 to like 6:30 he made sure that John was like completely wasted. He made sure he had like no self-control on anything. So Peter manipulated John to get him drunk to come out to the club so Peter can have a reason to leave the date, to make sure that he still looks like the best guy in the world. That's like,
Look, he's taking care of his drunk friend who's a complete idiot.
and then also he has an excuse to leave without hurting the person's feelings, I guess. John told me that he done this to multiple girls, that it was just a normal thing. Like, he's like them two don't talk for like a couple months, and then bam, Peter comes with this elaborate apology. He's like, hey, we need to like hang out with these bomb ass chicks or something like that, and trying to like lure him back into this giant cycle of like, I'm trying to get out of this date and you're the best loser that I can find type deal. Like making John feel like a piece of shit, and then Peter feel like this handsome blonde hair blue eye hero type thing. So when I found out this happened, I was hurt. Like, again, this was my first date ever on Tinder, and he had to create a whole elaborate plan to get out of it, instead of just being a normal human being and saying, hey, you seem pretty cool to talk to, but I'm just not feeling this connection. Like, I just don't want to go on a date. And I was like, I could have been like, it's totally fine, bruh. You're honest with me. It's fine. It's chill. I'm not gonna get hurt. We can end the friendship. We can do whatever. Now you're just looking like a piece of dick, and now you keep on doing this to other girls and hurting your so-called friend John over and over. Like, what's gonna happen when you like get him so drunk that he's gonna throw up or even like get hurt? What's gonna happen? Like, you were just not being a good friend. So after that, I stopped online dating for a little bit. Like, that thing was just like, that was too much. I can't believe that person would do that. Create a whole ass elaborate plan to get out of a date like that. Guys, girls, if you're not into a person, just say you're not into them. Don't be a dick. You can say it nicely. People understand. We're all humans. Everyone's attracted to something else. Like, everyone has their different feelings. It's normal. Just be honest, communicate, and everything will be fine. You may feel bad, and the other person may be sad because they probably have feelings for you. But whatever, it's the way life goes. We're gonna move on. It's like been a week. Like, it's gonna, like, you're gonna have a week where, like, oh, you're not gonna think about the person, and then bam, you're fine. You moved on. It's gonna suck in the beginning, and you feel like, oh, I'm gonna be alone forever, like all of us cringy people, and like, we're forever alone. Everyone's gonna find someone. It's just gonna take some time. Trust me. I'm the girl who's been single for 22 years. So I found that person, but I will one day. But like, we started with like praising the boys and then talking about vampire babies.
Listen, I don't know what comes out of my mouth. I just let it happen.
You know